here suppose in your script you are having one browser object, next one page, you have a first name, next one last name, and then Gmail address, then password, another field, password again. So these are all the objects we are having in our script. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 objects. If you are having 7 objects in your script, we need to create 7 descriptive objects. One description object for each object. Let us see. Let us first create description object for this browser. Let us give some name of your own. You can give any name of your own. I am just giving, because it's a of the type object, I am giving some representation, that's all. OBRO. So created, that is my description object name. And the syntax for creation description object is set obro description dot, automatically the method comes create. So by writing this line of code, a description object for the browser object was created, and the name of that description object is OBROW. And now I have a description object. Description object is nothing but it's like a collection which contains all the properties and the values. Now this is the object, this is the collection object, and that is empty right now. Now I'll add my properties and the values to that object. To be simple, it's just like a container which will hold all the properties and their values. See here, OBRO rotations, and then the name of the property which you want to add, title dot value, and then equal to the value which is Google accounts. So here you are adding this title to the description object which is OPro, and then assigning the value of that particular property. Means it's nothing but like a collection. It's nothing but a container which will be holding properties and their values. This property is associated with this value, and this is a hold in a container called OPro. So whenever I want to write this property and the value pair like this, I just say browser brackets open and OPro. That's all. I'll just use the object name, description object name, that's all, instead of writing a property value pairs. Let us see one by one. Likewise, I can add any number of properties for each description object. Suppose I have another property for this, like a name. I will also add this for the same OPro object, and then value and equal to whatever value that contains. Let us see, this object is having only one property and value, right? Here we are using only one property and value, so it contains only one. Now create one more description object for page. Next, second object is page, so create one more which is OPage. My description object of a page is nothing but OPage. So the syntax for creating the object is description dot create, and then OPage. Now add the properties. What is the property I'm going to add? First add title. Add the title property to the description object, then assign a value for the property. The property value is again Google accounts. Similarly, for the third one, which is a first name, let us give the first name as O first, and then again create a one object, description dot create. Next one, add the properties and then assign the values. So how to add the properties for the collection object? O first, and then the first property name is, here we are having the first property name HTML tag. So HTML tag dot value equal to, what is the value? It's nothing but input. Next one, you have one more property you need to add for this object. So again O first, second property is name property dot value, assign the value. The value is first name. So I added two properties and associated their corresponding values, and finally those properties and values were now present in the object which is of O first. Next, now if I want to write a line of code related to this one, this first line, I just write the class of the parent and then just OPRO, that's all. And next page and then O page. Next one web edit and then O first, and then set and some value. That's all. See, this lengthy script has cut down or shortened to this one, and also getting into any mistakes is reduced. Writing this lengthy properties and values becomes very difficult if you keep on writing like this. So this becomes very easy. Just I write the object name. When I write the object name, the description object name, that itself contains the properties and values. So I need not write those explicitly. Similarly, for the second line of code, I will just write browser and then obro dot page and then opage dot web edit, and now I need to create a description object for this second one similar to the O first. Again create a second object for the second one and give some different name here. Let us put it some second, and here also make the change. Second, and here the second name or else last name. And here give the name dot set and then value. So that is how you create a description objects. Similarly for the third one, which is a Gmail address. Gmail address. program name. And then likewise for the remaining objects, password and password again. I need to change here also, which is a Gmail address. For the password and password again. For the password, again create the description object. OPWD, PWD. And the value for the name is PASSWD. Next one is password again. So this is how we write the values. Let us recheck the property values whether they entered correctly or not. First one is browser and the title and the Google account. Second one is a description object. This is the code for creating description object for the page object, where you write title and Google accounts. Next one is for the first name, O first, and then added the two properties. One is HTML tag and assigning the value input. Next one is name and then the first name, value of the name property. Again create a O second as the another description object for the last name. Next O second of HTML tag and then dot value. Next also adding a other property which is a name, and again adding the second value. Next comes Gmail address. An HTML tag is input and the name is Gmail address. Next one is OPWD, which contains HTML tag which is equal to input, and the other property is name which is equal to PASSWD. Next value, name value is PASSWD again. That's what return here. And recheck the script. O first, O second, O Gmail ADD, OPWD, OPWD again. So just replacing the property values with their names, description object names. Now let us run the script. Let us comment this. Let us execute this QTP. Before that, let us check the syntax. Syntax is valid. Right? So that is about dynamic descriptive programming. This needs a lot of practice. The major point you need to practice here is spying the objects. By spying, you need to choose what are the important properties you have to use in your script. That is the most important thing here. And also creating the description objects. Here we have an exercise for you. Assignment for today.